Let's back up the computer as well. Get a little technology sorted out here. Okay, that's fine, Sasha. Recording's running, I think. Yeah, I think we're ready to go. Yeah. Okay, I will just get the presentation up now. Michelle, if you'd like to join us, just say yes to being a panelist, and you can switch the video on. If everyone could just have their sound on mute now, just while we get underway. Okay. Or you can just message me in the chat, Michelle. Okay, nearly there. Right, presentation running. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of the formal stuff first, guys, and we can relax. Some people are going to come watch us cold on YouTube, so you might know what we're on about. So, right. So, I'm Nicolas David Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension, and I'd like to welcome you to Escaping from the Matrix with Divine Healing. It's a free healing webinar, and we'll sort of talk about the theme briefly here. So, are you stuck in your 3D job? Who's stuck in your 3D job and wants out? Put your hand up. Anyone here? Yep. Few of you. Okay. Emotionally disconnected from it. Perhaps sitting on a mountain of salt after you climbed the corporate ladder. A good friend of mine said that to me, which is why I use that metaphor. It really stuck with me. But she got out. Desperately looking for a way out. Feeling like there's something special you need to be doing out in the world that will actually make a difference, rather than just making money for someone else. You may not even know who your shareholders are, but can't rely on the universe to give you the next steps to achieve this. So this webinar is designed to gracefully accelerate the healing of the fear of stepping into the life you truly desire, especially in this time of the Great Awakening, given all the change in the world. So you can quicken the process of safely letting go, so you can escape from the corporate matrix and open to a new structure of life and the flow of abundance in order to deliver your gift of service to the world. I should put in brackets after that, the spiritual gift of service to the world. So let's find out why you guys are here, and that will give me a feel for how we go with this. This can go in any direction, this one. The reason I called it Escaping from the Matrix, because over a 2-week period, I had 2 vice presidents of US banks, 3 high-level women actually turned up in 2 weeks, wanting to talk about this on a different webinar. So I thought I'll do a webinar for the guys who want to get out, because they all ask the same thing: how do I escape, Nicolas? I can't take it anymore. So I thought that was interesting. That turned up. A bit of background for me: I used to sit in a glass box in the city in London in corporate finance, working for a global satellite communications company, working out how to make more money for them in terms of designing new satellite services, a $2 billion company. That was 27 years ago. And one day on a summer blue sky day, this 200-foot cloud went past my corner glass office, and it was in the shape of an angel, and it talked to me, and it said, it's time to go, or time to leave. It was quite distinct. And I knew that was it. And it was a real strong message. And I got out after about 6 months. I was doing this work part-time in the weekends for about 7 years while doing my high pressure 24/7 nearly, or 18 hours, 6 days a week job. And I just knew it was time to go. And so my agenda switched from trying to keep the corporate beast happy to I'm going to do what I really love to do. And I sort of let go all the politics, all the stresses and strains of dealing with all these people and shareholders and joint venture partners and all that sort of stuff, and having to wear a suit all the time, and working for some of the people I didn't quite get on with so well, to actually doing this. I left, which was a big step, but it was a very happy step for me. Very challenging, but I'm glad I did it. So this little webinar is about becoming conscious of some of the blockages which may be in the way of you actually doing that. It is challenging, but it's satisfying. It means you're not dying anymore while you're standing. That's what I realized. So that's why I did it. So I'm still here, still solvent, just after 27 years. So I want to hear from you guys what brought you here. So name where you come from and what brought you to the webinar, because that gives me a flavor of how we'll go, because your collective intention will decide how we actually run this. Okay. So who would like to go first? Just sort of wave at me or put your hand up. And then I will. Okay, Ellen.
Yes.
That's it.
Hi, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, the word that comes up is sabotage.
Yep.
It has been well. I'm going to tell my name, Ellen. My name is Ellen. I'm from the Netherlands.
Yep.
And I'm here because of the high level of sabotaging already for a few years, but now it's like that high that I don't feel the difference anymore if it's my higher self or soul or if it's the sabotaging. So a few years ago, I was very clear, and I was also living without sabotaging. I had a lot of insights, and I saw things through, but I didn't listen often what I was telling to do, or so it kind of seemed that because of that, the line isn't clear anymore, and so now I cannot get the distinction. I don't know if that's
that's right.
Yeah.
Distinguish. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think 4 weeks ago or something, somebody told me on the phone, two entities with you, and okay, he said I can take them away for you. But I think, or there's the sabotaging again, that when I have still my beliefs and my lower level of consciousness and frequency, they will or come back or there will come new ones. So I don't think that is the solution. But maybe that's the sabotaging again. So, and I already.
What are you sabotaging? Just so I'm clear. What are you sabotaging, Ellen? Sabotage to what? Just so I know what's going on.
Well, at this moment, it is, for example, I saw one of your videos with other, I think 3 weeks ago. It was also already with Victoria, I think.
Yes.
And and with Svetlana. And I felt I want to be, or attempt. Is it an attempt? I don't want, I also want to go online with you. But then there was also this feeling, it's not right to go. So immediately there is a voice or it's not a voice, it's a feeling, I want to be there. But immediately there's also a feeling, no, it's you don't have to go there. So, and I don't know anymore if is it sabotaging or is it really my soul telling me there is another way for you. So that is the problem, the sabotaging thing. I don't know anymore the way to go. What is me and what is that's it.
Okay, got it. All right. So basically, it's hard to connect with the soul. It's what we call the spiritual signature. What is the right thing to do?
Yeah, maybe because it is the soul telling me don't go. So yeah.
Okay, we'll find out. Okay. Yes, the key to for those of you wanting to escape, the key is to follow what we call the spiritual signature, where in each moment there's one right action that opens your heart, because there is a plan. The fact that you're even thinking about it, escaping or transitioning, means there is a plan, and we'll talk more about that. But it's about how you align to that, because there is a way through it, and it won't be necessarily what you think with your left brain. I was very left brain in the corporate world. It's about following the feeling of what is right, what opens your heart. There is a way to escape and transition, but it's not what the mental body, left brain, thinks. So it's about transitioning from left brain to whole brain, but more right brain, feminine thinking, and following the flow. That's actually the core message I give you in terms of the escape. You're not going to be able to plan your way out. There isn't a business plan you can write, like some of you may have been taught to escape. It doesn't work this way. There's a spiritual plan, because you've already asked the question, how do I get out? Which means there's an answer, and there is a way. Okay? So, who wants to go next? Who wants to give me a feel for where you are and what you're trying to do here? Okay, Michelle.
Hi, Nicolas, and everybody else. Hopefully my internet's working.
You're
So I left my job. I was pushed out of my job actually 3 years ago, thanks to mandates. And so that was Spirit's push for me to start my own healing practice. But I've been a social worker for almost 20 years. And so in my current practice, I combine like the traditional mental health social work approach to mental health with energetic clearing and quantum healing and intuition and all of that. And I love what I'm doing, but I feel like I'm still kind of confined to that a bit of a box. Like I feel like I need to step out of that even more. And like I channel light language, and I just did that in a group on Saturday, and it was really empowering. But I feel the call to even get more visible and reach a larger audience online. But I have a lot of visibility fears and a lot of self-judgment and just blocks, I think, around like persecution. Like it's palpable at times. And so and I think it was interesting because during COVID, that was really reinforced for me because I was against the vax. And so I was persecuted by, losing my job and losing friends and family. And so the reason I'm here is really to heal that and clear any of those blocks to just being visible and speaking my truth and sharing my message and sharing my gifts in a bigger, bolder way.
Okay, well, you're in the right place, because that's what we're going to do once I've explained how this works. Okay, cool. Thank you. And where are you, Michelle? Where are you located?
Oh, sorry. I'm in Canada, Calgary,
Okay.
Alberta.
It's pretty cold at the moment, I guess.
It's freezing here. Minus 31 Celsius right now.
Oh, that's pretty cold.
Yeah.
We're only about 5 degrees Celsius in England here. So
that's balmy.
It's tropical compared to a year. Yeah. Okay. All right. Ruth, you had your hand up.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. I'm Ruth Brady. I'm in Thousand Oaks, California, and I am retired. I have come across the center and the teachings and everything, and I'm exploring the program, and it's been wonderful 2 years of retirement, and I learned a lot and everything about myself and got stronger in my core. The attempt to do this is finally go out in the world and teach health and good eating and all that good stuff, stress management, all that stuff that assists people in their path of evolution. So I'm exploring the whole program, and I'm very excited to have found this avenue because I experienced years and years of not doing this, in a corporate job. So I know exactly what you're talking about with the matrix and everything. And attempted to leave 2 times, but then went back. multiple times, as in a contractual capacity. So that was wonderful. I have no regrets of that, but something was kept calling me, and I was studying alongside work as I was going along, which kept me going. And now it's time to kind of like put my hands around all that and get out in the world and center this into a focused practice that helps people. So
Okay.
that's where I am.
Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, who's next? Svetlana, then Jen.
Hi, hello. My internet is a little bit bad, so I don't know. Are you gonna be able to hear me? I'm trying to switch to mobile data, but it's not working.
You're pretty clear.
Okay, good.
Sounds pretty good. Okay.
Good. It's very nice to be here. I was, I don't know, it's a very funny story. I came to the Netherlands to study, which was my long time dream. And it took me 7, 8 years approximately of working more than one job to like save up money to afford all of this. And then I got here and there was challenge after a challenge after a challenge. And then the job that I was working for 2 years, they stopped calling me, so I didn't have a job for 7 months. And it was the most stressful period of my life because I had to figure everything out. And then they called me back, and I was in like my instincts were telling me I shouldn't go back. But I had to go back because in the place where I live, I'm very limited with finding a job that is, for people who don't speak Dutch, sadly. And I went back, and after 2 months, they declared bankruptcy. And I didn't stress. I actually laughed, and I thought, "Wow, thank you," because where I come from, we say if all the doors are closed, a window is gonna open.
Oh, I think I dropped out. Has she dropped out on you guys? Yeah, okay. Jen, why don't you just speak until she reconnects? I think she's dropped out.
Yes, closing doors, opening windows. Nice one. So my name is my official name is Dries. I'm calling in from Belgium. Since almost 10 years, I have left the corporate world, said goodbye, and have my own practice since then. But it has always been a struggle to stay aligned, to stay in trust. I've always I think more mentally lived in some kind of illusion of abundance, although I never it was more mentally, but I managed to survive with my income, but was not very comfortable. It was pretty stressful all those years. So now I'm on a cross point that I sometimes I think I need to quit doing what I do, although I love what I am doing, and maybe go part-time work again in corporate world. But it's not something that I get really happy of. So for me, is the biggest challenge to get aligned again, to rely on the divine, and to more clearly see what I'm here to do, because I really believe if it was my destiny to do what I do now, I would be really successful because I have good results. People are satisfied, but still, it's not like people are running my are coming in huge amounts, and when I have workshops, everybody is really happy. Even years later, they remember the workshops, but it's still a struggle, and it's not like the next workshop is a is getting full even faster, and there's another workshop coming. It's something, I don't know, something that is not really aligned. I think that it's not really, I don't know the word in English. Yeah.
Not flowing.
Yeah, that was the word that I was
Flow.
looking for. It's not flowing like it should be. I
Yep.
know if I really do what I'm supposed to do, it should flow much more. And not just the money, but reaching people, connecting to people. So that's why I'm here.
Okay. Thank you. Victoria, do you want to say anything? I'm in the face.
Sure. Oh, okay, there I am. Well, I'm Victoria. I'm on the East Coast of the US. I'm in Connecticut. And yes, I joined you a few weeks ago. I also did one of these, I think, a couple years ago. The past few years, I've been in a much different spiritual journey than in previous ones. And so, in some senses, I'm feeling things kind of intensifying as I'm identifying more and more things that I need to um, look at. I've been doing a lot of work with someone who's done lots of trainings with you. So the past couple of years, been doing a lot of shadow work and really trying to look at my triggers or my teachers, those who are triggering me or teaching me about myself. And so I've had pretty much nonstop challenges in my current job where, on the one hand, I know I've outgrown it and I'm looking for what the next step is. But also, Michelle, I love that phrase you used, visibility fears, because I feel like that's exactly that's one of my challenges is really feeling comfortable stepping into my true authentic self and being seen for that. And so I know that there's an exit for me in my current job, even though it's very spiritual based, but it's not the right long-term place for me. And so I'm just trying to trust in divine timing when it is right to step out and to move on. And so until I have that clarity, I want to do as much learning and personal growth as I can. And so I don't want to escape, but I want to calmly. I do want to plan an exit. I do want to be a lot more methodical than just trusting. And so there's a lot of self-doubt that comes along with that too. And so that's why I showed up today.
Okay, thank you. All right. Let's see if Svetlana, that may be her just there. It's coming back. Here she is, she's coming back. Okay. No sound just yet. While she comes back, so Upasana, do you want to introduce yourself? If you do, just say yes to being a panelist here. You don't have to if you don't want. Then we can see you, or you can just speak from because everyone's in the panelist room and you're in the attendee room. Just you can switch on your mic on the bottom left if you want to introduce yourself and just let us know. Oh, she's coming. Yeah, she's coming. Okay, and I'm getting a good feel for what you guys need. Right, so
Hi, Nicholas. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, can you?
Okay. Yeah, I'm Upasna. I am from India.
Yeah, can you turn your video on? We can see you. Are you able to do that?
Okay, just
Bottom
give me
left.
a second, please. Yeah.
The window should have come up by now. There you go. Okay, we can see you now.
Yes. Hi. Yes. Hi. Yeah.
Welcome.
So thank you so much. I'm from India, and I'm here today because I have been following you for a while. I've seen your videos, I've read your book on the soul contract, and I was very, very inclined to learn a little more. So yes, just wanted to connect with everyone and just be here for today's session.
Okay. Are you trying to escape from the matrix in any way?
I think we have to learn so much from the Matrix. So maybe it'll be helpful to understand whether it's worth escaping or staying here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So Svetlana's dropped off again. So I think we'll just keep going because it sounds like it's pretty intermittent. for her. Okay. Hi, hello, Saja. Do you want to say hi and introduce yourself?
Yes, hello everyone. I'm in the middle of doing all kinds of things at the same time, so that's why my video's been off. But I'm from Finland, and nice to listen to all of your stories. What would I say about me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a mother of 6, been a solo mom for 10, 12 years or so, even though my littlest one is 3. And what would I say? It's been recently it's been quite fascinating. Should I say fascinating? Find how still I'm in that kind of some sort of survival mode. I'm doing all sorts of healing things myself and so on, but in a modern world like this, taking care of your kids' needs and your own development and all kinds of things. So that's been quite a big issue, healing my own past traumas and everything at the same time. So sometimes it's been overwhelming. But I've been lucky to have this this kind of mindset to know a bit more than what the Matrix offers us. So I think I've been really blessed with that. And yeah. Maybe that's all yeah, nothing else coming up
Okay.
at this point, but yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Svetlana's just come back on. We'll just give her a minute to see whether she gets the sound going. And then see when she wants to finish sharing. Ah, here she is. Okay. Audio's coming on. There it is. Okay. You want to continue, Svetlana, about your journey? That's it. It's on now. Sounds on.
Yes, I don't know where I was cut off.
You were just talking about you had been made redundant, and you were about to say a bit more than the cut off.
Well, I always wanted to come to the Netherlands, which was the reason why I worked so hard. I wanted to study event management. And when I came here, I had a very nice job, 2 years. It was great. And then I was not called anymore to that job for like 6, 7 months. And I really struggled. It was very stressful for me. After that, they called me back, and 2 months later, they declared bankruptcy. So for me, that was not a sad moment anymore. I actually laughed because we say, at least where I come from, I'm sure there is something equivalent in English. It is when all the doors close, the window opens. So I felt like that. I also felt like I shouldn't come back after these 6, 7 months, but I did. And I knew I was going against me. I got stuck in bed, and I'm like 27, and I had many issues like discomforts, disbalance in me, and I knew that my intuition is telling me some stuff, but I kept thinking, but I have to work because of school, because of rent and whatnot. And yeah, if they didn't declare bankruptcy, I don't think I would escape all of that. So currently I'm on workaway, and I moved out of that place, and I'm trying to figure it out. I actually am enjoying these last 2 weeks. Have been great since I've been gone.
Okay, thank you. I think that's everybody. Everybody's had a say. Okay, so let's talk about how divine healing can help. the issues that you guys have come up with a lot of interesting issues in terms of transitioning. You're at different stages from corporate into your true calling. So I'm going to start with a diagram to show you the journey. This diagram here is a very important diagram. Just to extend my explanation of what we call the following the spiritual signature. Okay, so in the West and in the East as well, we have been very conditioned to follow the path of the mind, the Western scientific method that's been imposed past 300 or 400 years, which is designed to disconnect us from spirit. So our education system is teaching us that science is the absolute ultimate God. It must be scientific. It must all, it must be all logical for it to actually work, to have any credence. Because the powers that be didn't want us connecting to the higher self. That's not so good, because then we go off and do what we're trying to do now. So our human ego has been very conditioned to be very limited, to stay in the mind, and that's what school's for. School's designed to keep us only in the mind. And so we end up following the path of the ego, the path of suffering. And we get conditioned into these corporate jobs. So how many of you seen the movie The Matrix? Everyone? Yeah. So you're in the Matrix like Neo, path of suffering. You're a slave in the Matrix. So you're following this little pathway down here, doing as you're told, doing as you're programmed, most of it unconscious. But the key to escaping from the Matrix is the principle basically is to shift from the path of suffering to following the spiritual signature. So what does that mean? So this is your business plan for those of you who are used to following plans. This is the business plan, the spiritual business plan. So in each moment, there's one right action which opens your heart the most. So first off, you've got to get your heart open by clearing enough of the issues, blocking it. We all have wounded hearts to some degree, which is why we have divine healing. The mind, you're all very smart people and you're trying to figure out how to get out, but that's not going to help you so much. Okay? It's not going to help you. I remember when I left the corporate matrix, I tried to figure it all out. I was used to writing business plans and long-range financial plans, and half the things I did when I did it that way never worked in the spiritual business. And I realized, it always worked in the corporate world, but it doesn't work here. So I thought we have to start again. So the idea here is that in each moment, if you have some choices of things to do, so your left brain thinks of some stuff you could do, you try it on in your heart and see which one opens your heart the most. So one of them will be open your heart the most, and that's called following the spiritual signature. And the idea is to converge on the spiritual signature here. The mind will fight this quite hard initially because it's used to being in charge. Can't have the sort of fluffy spiritual stuff running a business. Okay. And I met Amira, who founded this business with me, and she taught me to do this, which was completely alien to me. And it took a few years. I was very stubborn. But as I started to do this, things started to get better. I would do the right thing at the right time. And like I do something just in time for someone to call me or say, well, I like this now. I better anticipate what's going on, because the higher self above here could see the entire plan. Probably having a good laugh most of the time, what I was up to initially. So it could see the big picture. So as I converged, as I did divine healing on myself, I did divine healing in 2006. Mira Ariel had actually brought it through with 2 colleagues of ours to clear the human ego, because it's actually in the way. The mind's the thing in the way. So we could converge on following the signature. And now, as I run this business, it went from just a struggling private session business to now it's a global teaching business, reaching a lot of people. It's because I followed the spiritual plan. And your higher self has what we call a visionary template that sits in the fifth dimensional higher. It sits in the quantum field. So you don't have to work out the plan. Little Ruth or Michelle or Victoria, and this is so you don't have to figure it all out. It's a big scary thing. Me figure out this plan. I haven't got a clue what's going on initially, as some of you have said. You don't have to figure it out. You just got to open up, get emotionally clear to allow the plan to download into you, because someone much more conscious, the higher part of you, higher self, has already got a plan. Okay? And it's meant to work. And the reason it doesn't work is because we've got so much emotional separation in us that's in the way of opening to higher consciousness. So the first thing is well, we have divine healing. So we shift, we clear all our ego, we shift over here. And as some of you said, there's some big blocks keep coming up, big challenges. It's because the ego is trying to fight you and stop you from doing this. So the key is to clear the ego. And as you get clearer, you're going to be able to feel the signature more in terms of what opens your heart the most. And even down to what am I going to eat today? What feels right to do today? Okay? Because the higher self can see what's next. It has the whole plan. Because there ultimately is no time. And if we start to surrender to that and follow the higher self, things will unfold more gracefully. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy straight away, because we all have our karmic patterns, because we learn from them. Our karma there is our teaching, is our lesson. So as we work through them, for example, Michelle's saying, probably fear of persecution, probably severely persecuted, executed in past lives for speaking the truth, which is why it's a bit terrifying getting out there. I have that. I used to be the shyest person. Okay. And then I discovered that some of the people who were trying to stop me had been the past life, had executed me, which is why I couldn't talk to them. I couldn't face them. It was terrifying, because last time I did it, I died. I got hung. You see, I had a recall of that. So these are very real things in ourselves, but they can be also cleared. And in the process of clearing our issues, okay, what actually happens is this. We get to do this. So this is the most important diagram I'm going to show you. This is actually your business plan there. What happens is that we've got to clear our ego onion here. Your job as spiritual entrepreneurs, as budding spiritual business people, is to peel this ego onion layer by layer. As the things present themselves, whatever is in your face in the moment is what your soul's saying. Okay, Ruth, I want you to clear this. When you've got this layer, you can get to the next one. And there's an order, there's a natural order to awakening, because your higher self up here, through your soul contract, built you the way you are. Therefore, it knows how to peel it if we just get out of our own way. Okay, which is what divine healing is about, because divine healing aligns to the higher self, and we work with what's in front of us in the moment. I mean, our overall goal is to get out there, deliver our gift. It may be a bit fuzzy. Mine was very fuzzy for a long time. I mean, I left the corporate world, didn't quite know what I was going to do. I just knew I didn't want to do what I had been doing. And this pull to leave was so strong. It was like, I just have to leave. And I went traveling around the world for about 6 months just to have a break from the corporate world. And to get initiated into, and I went to the Himalayas and the Andes to be at a very high altitude, because I was getting this cosmic transmission to awaken. And I came back to England, and I sort of turned my part-time business into this full-time business. And I'm still doing that here. But when I learned divine healing, which was quite a few years later, I accelerated the peeling of this onion, and I realized the most important thing we can do, the most important investment in your spiritual business is you. Clearing yourself is the most important thing, because you can only go as far in your business as you've cleared your ego, as far as you've learnt the lessons of it. You could do all the stuff out in the world you like, but if your ego feels, for example, unworthy or doesn't trust, is terrified of persecution, doesn't matter how good a business person you are, you're not going to get very far. There's a limit. So you are the major asset of the business, because your frequency of your soul needs to be revealed from underneath this ego onion. And pretty much 80-90% of what's blocking you is completely unconscious. So you're not going to be able to figure it out, which is what we're taught in business. To figure it out, there's a problem. Work the problem, they say. It's not about that. It's about feeling through the maze of the unconscious layers the ego puts in place, because the ego is trying to keep us separate. Okay, it's trying to keep us separate from God. It's trying to do this. You are here in the third dimension. It's a densified dimension that seems solid. You come from source. And source, basically, in the 12th dimension, had an out-breath a long time ago, and it densified itself from the 12th, 11th, 10th, all these dimensions down to the point that light, this is just pure consciousness and light, that's what we normally are. We got to the point of being completely densified, and we actually forgot that's where we came from. That's what most people do. And as you woke up spiritually, you realize there's something more important for me to do than whatever the job is. There's some mission here. There's something secret. Well, someone hasn't told me that. I looked for it for years when I was a teenager and in my early 20s. And it was how to get back to here, how to ascend in consciousness. And your spiritual business is a holographic expression of your soul's journey. So you have your soul's journey driven by your soul contract, created by the vibrations of your name. You create a spiritual business, or are working on creating it, and it creates this holographic bubble of reality around you, which is your business. So your business is an outer expression of your inner soul journey. And so when something's not working in your business, it means something's not working in you emotionally, mostly unconscious, which is why we have divine healing. So your business is like an ongoing spiritual workshop. So whatever it is mirroring to you that's not working, and you notice if you clear it in you, the business starts to work better in that area. Okay. So clear yourself. You can do, obviously you've got to run things properly in the outer world, but clear the blockage in you. It could be unworthiness, fear of showing yourself, whatever it is. You clear that in you, and the business, the outer hologram, will start to shift and move. Okay. I remember when I was still doing private sessions a lot, and I'd have a slow month. Our Mira would used to say to me, do some divine healing until the phone rings. And I would. And the phone would ring because I cleared enough stuff, and I became visible to the matrix. At that next level of who I was, and clients would book again. So it happens periodically. A layer of my onion comes out. Okay. So, and the idea here is to find your own unique pathway home back to source, because we are playing what's called a game of separation from spirit, where we forget who we are. Some of you may not have fully forgotten, but most people forget. And we wake up in the matrix, thinking all there is. Then we realize we have that splinter in our mind, which they could talk about in the matrix. Realize something's not right here, because it's a very dissonant reality, this matrix in the third dimension. So we begin to search for the true meaning, which is, how do I get home? And it's embodied in your soul contract and the vibrations of your name that creates your reality in each moment. So your business is your pathway of getting back to source and helping a bunch of other people do the same. Because you all have contracts with other people who will turn up at the right time. You're going to help, we all help each other. I'm helping you guys now. We all help each other get back to God. Because you can't do it by yourself, even though we're programmed as light workers to be completely self-sufficient and independent. I don't mean anyone like me. I'll just do it myself. At least I'll get something done in this life. Does it sound familiar? That's the default program. Yeah. So, but the thing is that you get maybe 15, 20% of the mission done. Okay, if you try and do it by yourself. But if you work together with others, in terms of healing processes, workshops, as you get clearer, the right team will come to you as well. I used to just be me, but I've got a team of 6, 7, 10 people who help me now. They do the things they love to do. Okay. As you heal and open your heart and the soul shows itself, you'll magnetize the right team to be with you, the right clients, then it starts to happen. But the key is to get clear yourself. Okay. That's the key thing. So How do we do that? What is this process of clearing ourselves so we can get our business going? Like this. So, most of you describe being in the mud, in the emotional separation of life. Sloshing around in the mud, it's pretty yucky, and it's holding us back. Don't want to be seen, ego doesn't want to be seen, not enough people turn up, not quite sure what to do. So, ego does not like us becoming conscious of what's in the mud in our karma in life. Okay? But we want to dive into this and feel and become conscious of what's under the hood, emotional hood. Because when we can feel it and become conscious of it, we can then transmute it and create lotuses. This is the gifts of our business and of our life. So when you look at this entire experience as wholeness, just that we're playing a particular game of separation. Okay, so we do the opposite of what the ego wants to do. We bring consciousness to it. So what normally happens is that we have these 3 core programs that all humans have in some unique combination when we're born. Because when those of you who are parents, if your children come out, you notice that they have this enormous depth, and there's a black infinity in their eyes because they just came from God. When my son, when he came, you could see the look of God in his eyes, and he actually still remembers that because he didn't go to sleep. So, but when we come out into the world, there's 3 core programs that trigger. We feel abandoned by God. We were connected to God for 9 months in the womb. We don't trust God because we had to come to this place, my God. We don't feel unworthy to be loved by God in some combination. Okay, and that forms the human ego just from the fact of being born. So those are pretty painful things to feel. Yep. So what do we do about it? Well, here's what most people do about it. They go into avoidance. They numb out, and workaholics, addictions. They don't want to feel anything. So you become a light worker. You awaken and realize there's more to it than what you've been shown. But then what the ego does, it starts to judge our programs. It says, well, maybe I'll take a look at these programs. But we judge them and feel bad about it, which locks the program in place. That's the next step. We're not so happy about getting into what that program is. But the key is the third way, which is this one. This is the way of divine healing. It's about resonating and owning the program. The ego doesn't like pain, so it doesn't like going there. But it's actually it'll make it seem scary to go there, but actually it's not that bad at all. It's about bringing feeling consciousness to the program in the body and becoming aware of the origin. Because when we do that, what we're doing there is we're starting to transmute the program, which is why you guys are here. So what we're doing is this. We have the willingness, desire, and courage to clear the program. This could be like the Misha's fear of persecution for showing herself. So what we do is we turn into it. We bring our feeling consciousness, which is this blue, sky blue burst of energy. We expand our consciousness to feel it. Because what you feel, you can heal. Because all the soul wants to do is it wants to feel that sense of separation, fear of showing ourselves in this case, and then we ask higher self to clear it. Okay, and it wants to have the experience of the negative expression of this energy and the transmutation. Okay, overcoming that fear. That's the journey of the soul, and the soul is a little spark of God in us. That's the creator creating. So we always move from a negative polarity to a positive polarity, in this case from fear of expressing to be able to express, to being okay, to having the courage to express. The ego is sort of onto us here, and it's not so keen on us dissolving its programs because it's designed to keep us separate from God, to see if we can wake up and get back to God in ascension. So it puts all this turquoise, it numbs us out with emotional ice. It protects, it's a layer of protection around the program. Because what you can't feel, you can't heal. Okay? And we've learned to control our emotions with our prefrontal cortex. You know, notice how some people say, I think I feel this. This is the prefrontal cortex trying to come up with the right answer or how you should feel. Okay? Because it's not what you think you feel. It's just, well, it's just there if you can feel it. And a lot of us get very numbed out. So we can't even feel what's there. Okay? So what we're going to do is that we gently bring our feeling consciousness and dissolve this layer of protection and move it down into the program, whatever that separation program is. So this is the divine healing process here. And once we become at a conscious feeling level, or become aware of it, okay, we work in a group when we run this training. It's very powerful because you're held by the group. Spirit starts to move with energy, grace descends, then it releases, and then the program's gone. And it can feel like it was never there, and we wonder what the fuss was all about. Then we realize the ego was playing it was basically fooling us. It was making out this is really bad, this is going to hurt you if you go to this program. Once it's gone, we realize it's just smoke and mirrors, making a lot of noise. So, and those emotional blockages, they steal our life force. These are our emotional blockages. A life force is spent holding these blockages in place so we don't feel it. So we get low energy, limitation. Our businesses don't go quite so well because our life force has been stolen by the ego. So as we dissolve the programs, what happens then is that the life force is freed up. So we have more life force just for life in general, but most especially for our business. We become more attractive to the universe. Okay, then people turn up and solutions turn up so we can move through that. Any questions on that so far? This is a sort of principle of how to help our business move forward. No questions? It's pretty clear. Okay. So let's have a direct experience of this, shall we? Okay. So we're going to do some divine healing now. So I have opened the divine healing space already prior to us starting. And what that means is that I have aligned you to your higher self. Okay, already. Start doing this work. And what we're going to do now is I want you guys to close your eyes, and I'm going to clear some interference energies, okay? And the interference energies are blocking your connection to the higher self. They're at the lower end of the astral plane. They are these guys here. Shall I just show you the diagram here? They are, where is it? Here it is. So we're going to work on these guys. We're going to punch a hole here through this interference layer so we can access the higher self and get clearer answers so you get better guidance on what to do. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to clear the stuff here. Okay, and this is the lower end of the astral plane. It's designed to keep you, the veil of separation, designed to keep you from ascending in consciousness. There's all sorts of beings here, which we're going to work on. Okay, I want you to close your eyes, sit upright. I'd like you to breathe through your mouth because it keeps you in your body. I'd like you to lean back a little bit off the vertical because that keeps you in the feminine. So what it's going to do is it stop your mental body trying to figure out, is this real? All this mumbo jumbo stuff he's talking about. Okay, so. And we're going to clear what we call earthbound souls. These are beings who've left a physical body and are hanging out with you because they have a resonance with your life experience and they are holding you back. Okay, I'm going to do this quietly, but just be breathing through your mouth, breathing deep into your lower body, into your stomach, lower. And I just want you to be present with yourself. There's nothing to work out here. Just be present with what's coming up. You may feel them leave your physical inside your body, on the surface, or in your field. You may feel things going on. I'm going to clear them now, okay? We'll be done quietly, just breathing. Here we go. Feel the shift and just feel gratitude. Thank the angels who helped us move these beings. Because often they can try and keep you in that stuck. Like often the reason we get stuck, because they want you to stay in the stuckness, because that's what they were still working through. We always do this at the beginning of a divine healing session, because if we don't get accurate answers from the higher self. Now we're going to release extraterrestrial presences. It's nothing to worry about. They're just vibrating at a high frequency, so you can't see them. But they're just very interested in the emotional sleep of Earth. How do these human emotions work? Because a lot of them have lost that. They went down a sort of a very mental, scientific pathway of evolution. But then they realized they need to learn about emotions to feel love again, so they can actually ascend. They come and study us. So we're going to get rid of these guys, because the very fact that they're observing us through the law of relativity changes the experiment, what's being observed. So here we go. We're going to shift these guys out now. Feel the shift as they're left. Drink while stuff leaves you. Now we're going to remove what are called third group, called discarnates, entities and attachments. Pretty much everyone else on the astral plane who's hanging out with you. Okay, so we're going to remove these guys quietly now. They're leaving now. We express gratitude for them leaving. And we're going to make sure they can't find us if they try and come back. Here they've left. Just keep breathing. Now, I want you to focus on your next step from what you just told me earlier, where you want to go next. It could just be clarity on purpose. It could be clarity on how you're going to create your business. It could be the manifestation of business. Whatever the next step is for you, whatever the layer of ego onion you're guided to work on. Okay? It could just be the fear of stepping out, for example. Okay. Or you could just visualize yourself in your business. You've escaped from the matrix and you're in your new business, your spiritual business, your service-based business. Just focus on that if you like. Don't worry about how you're going to get there. That's up to the higher self to help you. Just feel in your heart the highest calling, the highest reality of where you want to be. Could be successful in whatever way is right for you. Okay, financially, emotionally, and people you serve. Because it's already programmed into you. It comes from that visionary template from the higher self. Because what this is going to do, this is going to trigger a whole bunch of programs in the ego which are in the way of it happening, some of which you're already aware of. So we're going to sort of ambush them, really. We're going to trigger the ego, saying, whoa, you can't go and do that, Victoria. And then it's going to come up in consciousness. And I want you to keep breathing through your mouth and feel what comes up. Because then we're going to clear that layer which has shown itself. Because the ego will become very vulnerable when we do that. Okay, so focus on that reality and let's see what it triggers. Okay, so we're sort of fooling the ego here, really, because it's going to get triggered somehow. Because it's going to want to stop you. It's the way this thing works. Okay, breathe into that reality of what you want to create in your life. Okay. So don't hold back. What we're going to do is that we're going to clear what we call main low frequency programs. So I want you to just feel whatever comes up in you. It could be feeling fearful, showing yourself. It could be doubt. It could be lack of trust. It could be unworthiness. Whatever it is, just be with the feeling and breathe into it. Breathe into that feeling wherever it is in your body. Become aware how that program operates in your life. Okay. Feeling it's the most important thing. It's the fuel that drives us. Become aware of where that feeling is in your body. Become aware of where this came from. Could be in this life, could be something that happened when you were a kid, could be from a past life, could be from somewhere else. Just get a sense of where it may have come from. The higher self will show you if you're meant to see it. You may not get clarity, but you may do. So by targeting where it may have come from, we can the healing is deeper. Let yourself open to all aspects of this feeling. Some of them may not feel pleasant, but that's the idea, to feel them exactly what they are. Are you attached to it? Do you feel bad for having it? You judge yourself for having it. Because these are the things that hold it to you, the program. Makes it hard to let go. The more you can open to it, the more it can integrate and heal. Keep breathing through your mouth. Beware if your ego tries to close your mouth, because it doesn't want you to feel it. Because it knows what's about to happen. And I want you to switch your microphones on, because I'm going to give you some command codes. I'm going to command high consciousness to help clear the program that you can feel. Okay? And by hearing each other, you support each other, because it's much more powerful in a group here. Okay? So I'm going to give you this command code in bite-sized chunks, so you can keep your eyes closed. Repeat after me. We command Saint Germain
We command
Saint Germain
to pour the purple flame
to pour the purple flame
or the purple flame
through the aura and subtle bodies
through the aura and subtle bodies
to burn away all low frequency energies
to burn away all low frequency energies
that we have discovered,
that we have discovered,
so that new higher level vibrations
so that new higher level vibrations
can be accessed,
can be accessed,
accepted, and encoded
accepted and
accepted
encoded.
So Saint Germain's ascended master, who's going to pour the purple flame and start to put this into action. Because divine healing is based on ask and you shall receive. And because I've aligned you to the higher self, all this will start to happen. Next part of the command code. Saint Germain and higher self,
Saint Germain and higher self,
please burn out in one go.
please burn out in one go.
100% the core issue.
100% the core issue.
Through all levels and dimensions.
Through all levels and dimensions.
So we sort of pause there to let that happen. 100% the original cause.
100% the original cause.
Through all levels and dimensions.
Through all levels and dimensions.
Another little pause. 100% the source of its power.
100% the source of its power.
Source of its power.
Through all levels and dimensions.
Through all levels and dimensions.
100% all energy attached.
100% the full energy attached.
Through all levels and dimensions.
Through all levels and
dimensions.
100% all of its effects.
100% all levels of effects.
Through all levels and dimensions.
Through all levels and
dimensions.
We pause there, let that happen. The mind will usually want to rush ahead, but in divine healing, we need to be present with what the energy is doing. Because each of those little command codes, as you do them, it's what we call them. You command the universe to help you. You've got to let it play out. And then the energy's sort of busy for a while, then it calms down. Then we say, thank you. And we've got to express that with gratitude to the universe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, because that opens a channel to source. And the more gratitude you express, the more you bypass the ego completely and good things start to turn up. Okay, so we cleared that layer of the ego onion to the program in the body. Now what we're going to do is we're going to clear whatever past life issues have been creating this. We talked about that earlier. So this is a past life death chart in level 1. We're not going to use, we're going to use a variation on it. We're going to use this command code here. Okay, so I want you to become aware of, through intention, of any past lives which are blocking you, escaping from the matrix, blocking you from the next step, from creating the business you want, starting the business, or you're already in one, from it being more successful, whatever you want it to create, whatever's in the way in terms of past life to the manifestation you focused on earlier, the beginning of the process. And what will happen is that the past life files will open in your fields. You may see them, you may feel them, you may become aware, you may have flashbacks of what's actually in the way. Because then, and as you become conscious of them, whatever degree you're able to, we're going to use this command code together, and then we're going to clear that layer that's stopping you. Okay? So keep your eyes closed, breathing in with the intention of the past lives coming up. You may feel beings around you from those lives, like called past life discarnates, who are playing this out with you. Okay, repeat after me. Higher self,
Higher self.
please clear, heal, and integrate
Please clear, heal, and integrate
all these files and memories,
All these
files and memories,
including all cellular memories,
including all cellular memories,
the DNA, and the subatomic levels.
and the
subatomic levels.
I am now ready to heal all traumatic lifetimes,
I am now ready to heal all traumatic lifetimes,
blocking my escape from the matrix
blocking my escape from the matrix,
at all levels and dimensions,
all levels and dimensions,
all time frames,
all time frames,
realities,
realities,
and universes.
In
And
universe.
universes.
So we pause there, let that, it's quite a mouthful to clear. We'll let that clear out. I command that any soul fragments
I command
Command that any soul fragments
all of any soul
held with
fragment
these memories
held within these
filled with these memories
are now return to me,
now return to me,
fully whole and intact,
fully whole and intact,
as appropriate.
and
as
appropriate.
appropriate.
I welcome these soul fragments back.
I
I
welcome
welcome
these
these
soul
soul fragments back.
So we pause there because the sensitive part of us break off when we have traumatic stuff happen. So we're going to call them back. That's to make ourselves whole again. I command
I command
that the whole holographic matrix
that the
The
whole
whole holographic matrix
be repaired
be
be
repaired
repaired
through all layers and levels,
through all layers and levels
then brought into full alignment.
in order to build alignment.
full
Yeah.
alignment.
Yeah, then brought into full alignment. It's a
Be brought
Into full alignment,
integration
integration
and balance
and
and
balance.
balance.
to allow for wholeness to emerge.
To allow for
To allow wholeness to emerge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Embrace the shift as these past life memories and past life discarnates clear. You may shake, you may yawn, burp, feel the energy leaving. It brings us very present into the present moment more. Is that clear? So we've done a lot of deep clearing there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to integrate that because we've disrupted the ego. Many layers programming has come out. So we need to infuse what we call an integration chart, which is a nutrition chart in Divine Healing Level 1. Okay, so we need to put in a certain frequency that's going to help you integrate what's going on because we've disrupted the ego somewhat with that clearing. But we have to stay stable in the process as we go on this journey of awakening. So I want you to open your eyes here. And so in Divine Healing, we use a thing called number mapping, where basically we're opening to the higher self and asking it to tell us which part of a chart to work on, because there's lots of charts in Divine Healing. And this was the original first manual written, and it was channeled through in 2006. They use letters a lot. But instead of picking a number 1 to letter A to D, which is hard for our minds to do, we're going to pick a number 1 to 4. And what's going to happen there is that 1 goes with A, which is amino acids. 2 goes with essential fatty acids. We go down here. 3 here. 3 is associated with minerals, and 4 is associated with vitamins here. Okay. So don't try and second guess the higher self. Just relax and lean back and close your eyes. I'm going to ask you to pick a number 1 to 4 in a minute. And whatever number comes through first is the correct number, and write that down, okay? Okay, so pick a number 1 to 4 and write the first number that comes down in your head. That's the correct number. If other ones come in, it's just the ego or interference messing with you. Okay? All right. So those of you got 1, which is equivalent to A, which is amino acids, we have to pick a number between 1 and 26 here. Okay? So those of you got 1, pick a number 1 to 26. First number that comes into your head is the right number. And have a look at the chart and see which one you got. and write that down. So you got 11, it'd be like histamine. And that'll be the frequency that you need. Good. If you got 2, it's essential fatty acids. So those you got 2, pick a number 1 to 20 and write that down. And then open your eyes and see which essential fatty acid you need to work with. It'll be like capric acid, for example, it's number 5. So that's your frequency that you need to integrate. Oops. Everyone got there? Got it written down? Yep. Okay. If you got 3, it's a mineral. Close your eyes and lean back. And pick a number 1 to 22. Write that down. Then look on the list to see which mineral you had. For example, 7 is iron. So we just want these frequencies. Because these solid nutritional energies are just physical vessels for holding a certain frequency. So what we're doing is we're bypassing the physical supplement and we're basically infusing the frequency. So you got 4. That's D, that's vitamins. Keep your eyes closed, lean back to the feminine, pick a number 1 to 27. And that'll be your vitamin. Write that down. It's also a lot more cost effective. You don't mean you just don't buy all these things. You just need it one-off. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do this command code. So that mineral has gone in, that nutritional frequency has gone into what we call the divine healing stack. It's like an energetic container where you put your intentions of what you want to do. It's gone into there. Nutrition, it could be number, could be B, could be 2. Could be arachidic acid that's gone into there. But you don't have to try and remember it. As long as you set the intention, it's in the divine healing stack. Okay, so we're going to do this command code now, and that frequency or whatever you chose is going to infuse into you. It's going to come down and infuse into your crown chakra, down your central column, then propagate through your entire system to integrate what you just cleared. So after me, bite-sized chunks, say, higher self.
Higher self.
Please encode this nutrient
Please encode this nutrient
in the perfect balance
in the perfect balance
that is required,
that is required,
and clear and align
and clear and align
all pathways
all pathways
for maximum assimilation,
for maximum assimilation,
absorption, and utilization.
and utilization.
Keep your eyes closed so you're going to feel it come in. Feel it propagate. And you should feel a little more settled after that. Sometimes you feel a bit jangly after clearing, some of these clearings, because you're dismantling the ego, okay? You keep breathing a little bit through your mouth while that happens. And when you feel it settle, just gently open your eyes and come back into the room. A little feedback to see how you're doing. Check everyone's okay. Who would like to share their experience of that? Just wave at me if you're ready. Svetlana.
I was wondering, I was really feeling like cold. And I don't know, did anybody else feel it? I'm very confused, but it was like nice just throughout my body.
Yeah, cold indicates that the frozenness in your body from the programming is leaving. It could be some trauma leaving, okay? You can use cellular release when you go cold. But if you might get heat as well at the same time. That's the life force being released that was holding the program, the cold in place.
Yeah, I was cold when we were repeating, and now I'm warm. So
Yeah. Well, you've got a lot, you're freed up with a life force that was holding the program in place.
But my right ear, I also felt like not really pulsating, but I just felt like I usually, it's always my like ringing in my right ear or something, and I also felt that was present. I don't know.
Oh, well, if it's ringing in your ears, that's your higher self talking to you. So what you want to do is breathe it into the middle of your head, and you'll notice the sound changes. Basically, you're getting a downlight from higher self to guide you.
All right.
You haven't got tinnitus or anything. It's just guidance coming in. That's where it comes from your higher self and from your guides. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else want to share their experience with that?
No.
Michelle, then Victoria.
Thank you for that. That was beautiful. I was very emotional during the past life clearing and reintegration. And it was interesting because my right eye started tearing quite quickly, and then eventually my left eye started tearing. And I just felt a lot of grief, like boatloads of grief. And then it just became like really deep gratitude.
So something cleared, been holding you up. Very good.
Thank you.
Victoria.
I lost a connection. I lost a connection during that first command code, so I'm not sure if it got fully cleared because the whole screen went black, and then I realized everyone was frozen. And then it just came back on, so I hopped back in. But I have just a lot of tears, and a lot of yawning. But I feel really calm. I feel very calm and grounded.
Yeah. Well, you're in the group energy, so you would have still got the healing even if you're offline because energetically you're connected.
Good.
So don't worry about that. It's probably the interference, not happy, or ego not happy about what you were doing, because it can mess with the internet sometimes. Okay.
Oh.
Which means you're in the right place. Okay, and that happens. Okay. Anyone else want to share their experience? Ellen?
Oh.
You're on.
Yeah. Thank you for this. There's a lot of activation on the top of my head. And the beautiful thing was it already started, I think, 2 hours before this online meeting. I felt it. And I wanted to ask you because I already saw also another online meeting with other people. And then there was also something happening, not so strong as today. But then I cried. It was really unexpected, and I thought, working? Is it activating something when you just watch and you haven't connected us to our higher selves like now?
Well, no. If you watch the video,
Yeah,
the same thing happens. It contains the transmission, so you're in the field.
yeah.
We're switching it on because it preserves everything we do in it. So you were aligned to the higher self just by watching the video. Okay. So this, if you watch this later, people have quite strong experiences watching this because the entire transmission you're getting it again. It's not just purely video and audio. It's energy just preserved in the video. Okay. Anybody else want to share? We're okay on that. All right. So let's talk a bit more about what's going on here. So,
I'd like to share.
all right.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Yeah. Can you hear?
Bruce, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. All right. So I'm quite breathless still, and I'm not sure what. I have a lot of energy moving through my body right now. So and in gratitude again. I'm very curious also what's being done when our eyes are closed. So at some point, if I can understand that from you a little bit further, because there's a lot happens, so much happens that there was, and in this internal part of my body, stuff was leaving, and it hurt for a while, and then now it feels better, and it feels much better. So all of that happened.
Yeah. The reason we have the eyes closed is to switch your mental body off. Because to switch the mental body off, because it's actually in the way. Because 80% of our mental energy comes out our eyes. Like that's why we sit back in the feminine, okay? The eyes closed, because I want you to be in the feeling feminine side of you. Because divine healing is driven by how we feel, not how we think. And our Western brains are too active. They're actually a nuisance. It's not helpful for us here. Because it will try and first say, is it real? Then it will try and figure it out. And you don't need to do either. Just got to trust the process. So we're disarming the mental body by having our eyes closed and breathing through our mouth. That's what I'm actually doing. Otherwise, you end up in a struggle with it, which we don't really want. It has its uses, but for this, feeling spirit is the key. Feeling the program is the key. That's what we're actually doing. Okay, it takes a little while to get used to it.
I don't have any problem at all with the eyes closed and the feminine and reaching that. It's just in the program, do we learn what you're doing?
Yes, yes, you do.
You know, as you're, and that part I just have to, is just this big question mark, and I'll just have to
Yeah.
wait to
I'll talk about
understand
I'll talk
further.
about how the program works. We'll talk about it now. So in the actual training, what we're doing is this. Overall, what the program is designed to do is it's a multidimensional healing system, because it comes from many dimensional levels, many different races of beings helped put this together, which is unusual, because the purpose of divine healing is to ascend, is to get back to source, is to completely dissolve the ego, so you can get back home to God. And so higher consciousness produced this very profound set of tools, because our mirror and I were looking very powerful set of tools, because we had some serious karma to work through. And she couldn't find it with other people's modalities, because they wouldn't teach her how to do it. So she channeled it with two other, Mary and Roshan. It's a very powerful set of tools to get back to God. It reconnects you to spirit at all levels. It's very self-empowering, because you can clear 80% of your issues yourself with this. And we used to say keys of enlightenment. I should change that. She said to me, we shouldn't say that anymore. But basically, it's designed to make you very conscious. And the more conscious you are, the easier it is to get home back to God. And what it does is it dissolves the ego and lots of other programs, so your life can really happen. I mean, lots of you've all expressed the blockages you have. And this is the tool I use to escape from barely making a living as a therapist to actually having a global teaching business. It helps you become conscious and transform the fundamental hidden underlying programs that's creating your life in this moment, especially the blockages. It can take those long-held dreams and make them come true. It can develop and fully live, so you can develop and fully live your vision. And it can help deeply heal you completely and easy. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. But it's a very fast way to clear stuff. And as you clear enough of the ego, you can reconnect to your true essence and tap into your gifts and qualities and get more love, joy, and fun and aliveness. This is just for yourself and for your clients. Most importantly, create more flow for your business and personal life. And you become the master of your life. So basically, you realize, I can actually change this program. It may seem real and solid and unstoppable and something I can't unblock, but actually all programs can be dissolved eventually with this sort of technology. So that's what we're doing. That's the purpose of divine healing, get home to God. What we actually do on the training is we pretty much do what we've just done now. So we're transforming the DNA here. Divine healing is about ascending and empowering yourself in level 1. Claiming your power back, because often the matrix is set up so we feel like victims of the matrix has done something to us. This is about picking us up, saying, okay, I can change my reality by changing my programs. And once you realize you can do that through direct experience, anything's possible with us. Okay? So, divine healing consists of, this is level 1, there are 5 levels. Level 1's about empowerment, and there's 26 charts here. You've seen a few of them. Today you've seen, I did interferences on you, we did male frequency programs, we cleared past life traumas blocking you, manifesting your escape from the matrix and manifesting your business, and then we use nutrition. What we do in the training over 4 days online on Zoom is that I teach you each of these charts. We go through in the order that the group consciousness, what we call a synergistic entity, wants to experience. So we go in a unique order. It's different in each workshop. So I explain the theory of the chart to you. If it's a straightforward chart, I will just do the command code on all of you. If it's a complex chart, which quite a few of them are, I will then demonstrate on one of you. And then you'll go into breakout rooms. For those of you not familiar, those private digital spaces within the main room of Divine Healing. We're in the main room here. Then you go and give and receive the treatment on each other. You might be in there for an hour, half an hour each way. So you learn by actually through experiential body learning by giving and receiving how to do the charts. Then you come back, we take feedback, and then we do another chart. So we do this over 4 days. So basically you get an intensive healing process over 4 days, and you learn all the charts, and you get to work with everyone in the class usually. So you get to work with different people, so you develop your skill as a divine healer, because each person is going to be different. So you have to keep adapting to them. Okay, and you get the right person on the right chart, and you'll clear a huge amount of your programming just by being in the class. Plus you learn how to do it on yourself later, because you can clear 80% of your issues yourself. Plus you have a tool to work on others as well in your business. So that's what you want to do. Some people use it for their business, some people just use it for themselves, depending on what you want to do. So basically it empowers you to clear a lot of stuff, clear a lot of the issues that you guys have brought to the table today. So it's more cost effective to actually learn to do it yourself, because 5.5 hours of session time normally is the cost of this training. So basically it's a tool you've got forever, which you can do in person or do online. Okay. And the training runs for about 4 1.5 hour slots with 2 20-minute breaks and a meal break when we do this over the 4 days. Let me show you that. Ruth, where are you? Where are you located? You have to unmute.
What did you ask me? I'm sorry.
Where are you located? What time zone?
In California, Southern
Okay.
California.
All right. So we run from 12:30 to 8:30 p.m. UK time. So it's a 4:30 a.m. start in California, because we have to go out to the Middle East and India. Okay. And I can only teach up to 8:30 UK time. So it's a bit of an early start, but it beats flying to England, which is what people used to do with us. If you're on the East Coast, EST, it's 7:30 a.m. start to 3:30 p.m. If you're in Europe, it's a 1:30 a.m. PM start to 9:30 p.m. Okay, so we do it on Zoom, just like we're doing now. So here we have a 4-day healing intensive, basically, and you'll leave squeaky clean compared to when you started. You clear a lot of stuff, and then you realize you've got a really powerful tool that can shift things which seem insurmountable. You can just clear them, most of them anyway. Okay, and level 1's the beginning of a journey to really deeply clear the ego. A lot of things which seem permanent will just be dissolved the way this works. And you won't even remember what the program was. That's how clean it is. You look back and think, I feel so much better, but I can't remember what we did for 4 days. What did we actually clear? Because basically it dissolves the whole thing out of your holographic matrix, which is, it's your physical and energetic bodies and the reality you're creating. It's just gone. And you're running at a different level altogether in life. Okay. Does that help, Bruce, in terms of the structure of the training? You have to unmute again if you want to talk to me.
Thank you very much. Yes, that clears it up.
Okay. So, any other questions on the structure or anything we covered so far today?
Nicolas, can you speak briefly to like what the next levels go into? I know you don't have to go into great detail, but you said there's 5 levels?
Yeah, level 2, this is an empowering one, so you realize I can change my reality. Level 2 clears the body of a lot of low frequency energies, so you can embody much more high consciousness. It's about clearing the body. Okay, level 3 is all about self-love. Okay, level 4 is connection to the divine. Level 5 is all about clearing really deep programs which block you in your relationships, sexuality, clears abuse, all sorts of it's all the really tough stuff that our mirrors figured out how to clear them. Okay, when she channeled it. Okay, but just start with one level and see how you go. This is plenty powerful enough to get going, but each level builds upon the other one. Okay.
Yeah. Are you familiar with spiritual response therapy? This
Yes.
seems very similar.
Yeah.
That's what I practice, but this seems like a little bit more of a spiritual response therapy feels very masculine in its energy to me. This one feels a little more feminine.
It is. It's much more feminine. Okay, because one medical doctor, Amira, created this medical doctor in healing. The other two are women kinesiologists, top kinesiologists in England who created this. Okay. So,
Thank you.
Any other questions? Ruth, was there another question?
I hope it's a question everybody can relate to, but can you help me understand what is that almost grief when you let go of something, a blockage that's pretty, this entity that's been with you for a long time? There's almost like this hesitation to let it go. What is that about?
Well, the ego is attached to suffering, Ruth. So it's grieving no longer having to suffer, probably. No matter how crazy that seems, but we get attached to our programs, you see, because it's familiar, even though it hurts us. Does that sound about right? That's probably what's going on.
And hopefully with time, that dissolving and that, caring for it and holding it and relating to it, it sort of starts to dissolve. Is that correct?
Yeah, it dissolves. Yeah. Yeah.
Very
If we were
interesting.
doing a
Thank
real
you.
session, we'd do more work and then we'd clear the grief as well. So in the training, it follows a natural order. And a lot of stuff will come up. It can be a bit uncomfortable for a while, then it'll get cleared with the next training chart we do, or a couple of charts down the line. So in the end, you end up being very clear at the end. Okay. In your own, in whichever way is appropriate for you. So.
Thank you.
So if you want to find out more, you go to the divinehealingtraining.com. The full fee is £571 or about $660 US. The deposit, which is within that, is £193 to secure your place, or about $224. A bit more in euros, a bit less in euros actually, about 3 or 4. I think it's a few percent less. Okay, so that's there if you want it, and it's 13th to 16th of March is the next one. It runs twice a year. We run one in spring. I'll be another one in probably September, October. Runs twice a year. Okay. People. So you want some magic, Ellen? You guys can ask me.
Yeah, I was curious. I think it's all exercising together, but this handout, is this also what we are receiving, or you can
Yes, you'll receive that manual, what you saw.
Yeah.
You'll receive that manual. It's a download when you register. Once you've fully paid for the course, you get access to the back office where you have all the instructions for joining, all the detail of what you need to do to prepare for it, what happens during the training. You can download the manual, the other course materials, the presentation. You saw some of it already. So everything's available, and you just print it off, put it in binders because you need to, because there's a lot of, you're going to be jumping around between them. So all the materials available. So you have a whole manual that comes with it. And we record the training just for you guys only, and it's put on Vimeo. It's password protected. It's not made into a product. So you can revisit certain charts, things you might want to get a refresher on. You can go revisit the charts or even watch the whole training again if you need to, and then you'll get the transmission again. So we try and keep it as experiential as possible. Okay. And the key with this is just to go and practice with each other in the class for a while, and then go and practice on other people. Then it becomes embedded. Then your life is going to change a lot, radically change for the better. So whenever you're working on your business and you're feeling the blockage, you just do the divine healing. You realize, that blockage is gone. Let's get on with the business. Rather than suffering for weeks or months with a program, it can be gone in a few minutes or an hour or two. A few hours, it's gone. And you get on with what's important. Okay, because the degree with which you cleared yourself determines how well your business runs, basically. Okay, or your life runs in general. Okay. Svetlana, you got another question? Have to unmute.
Yeah, maybe I didn't hear. But this what you were showing now from A to Z, what you cover in, is that level 1 or all the levels?
That's level
in the
1.
training? And then you okay. All right.
We cover 26 charts in 4 days. Okay, so there's a lot to it. There's a lot to cover. But you'll be nicely cleaned out after 4 days of that. Things you thought would never leave, they'll be gone. Okay. They'll be gone. Most of it's unconscious stuff, you see. And the mind will try and figure it out, but it'll just dig out so much stuff. When it comes out, you realize, oh, that explains this and that explains that. Oh my God, I didn't realize that was there. But that's what it's for. It's designed to go deep into the ego onion and with grace and love. So you get clearer, then it frees your soul so you can get on with the mission. That's what it's for. Okay, because we asked to go home to God, and Source sent this tool to us. So we can get free. That's what it's for. And we have ongoing support. We do a support call about a month later, and then we also have an optional support program. It's over 6 months. These 4 2-hour sessions over 6 months to help you integrate it in your life and in your practice. And we have a web Facebook community. There's 300 practitioners on there where you can ask questions, and a lot of very experienced practitioners there can support you. It's peer-to-peer support, so you can get out there with the work. So you join our community. We have great people in the community who are very passionate about this work. Some of them for 20 odd years, who will help you get it out there. Okay. Anything else, Bruce?
Yes, I have a question about the combined courses, and they seem to make quite a bit of sense to combine them, And so is that more than level 1, or what is happening there with
the packages are designed because people started asking us, because what people tend to do is they look at what we do, then they plan their campaign, what they want to do, which is usually most of it. And so then when people started asking us, okay, can you do me a package deal? Because I want to do all the trainings. There's someone from India last year did all the trainings. She did 7 trainings. So we did a deal. So that's why we do that, because we realized people wanted to do the whole lot. So that's why we offer that. The main dynamic to be aware of is that what most of the practitioners do is learn Soul Contract 1. So they have a tool to understand their clients, and the clients understand themselves. Okay, so they understand what is creating, what's presenting in their healing sessions. Because if you understand what's creating it, then you can target your divine healing much more carefully. So what most of the guys do is they've done a soul contract reading, then the client comes back for a series of divine healing sessions, and they can tell exactly what soul contract programs are creating it. And when you know what's creating it, you can target your divine healing much more accurately. Could be unworthiness, a 3, or lack of trust, a 4. See, basically, it means that they synergize the two therapies. Because soul contract describes the spiritual map of life the client's traveling down, which you discover in detail when giving them a reading. And divine healing clears the blockages on that map to get rid of their soul destiny, their real life purpose. That's how most of them use it. Okay, so people have both. And it tends to be a very powerful practice they develop of this, because when their clients realize, okay, I'm totally understood by the soul contract work, and the divine healing is laser targeted on the issues, they come back for more, because people are going to go for whatever works best. And this thing is very powerful. That's what the guys have discovered. So that's why we started packaging those two together, because that's what people were asking for. Then they started saying, okay, I want to do all 3 divine healing, all 3 soul contract readings. I want to do all the 2 divine healing trainings, and I want some support programs. So what can you do? So in the end, we put some of the packages out there, but in the end we say, build your own package. You know, it's 8% off if you do 2, 10% if you do 3. So some people just design their own package as well, depending on what they want. It also means it sets the energy in motion. Once you commit to the whole thing, what happens then is that Spirit's working with you over the 18 months, however long it takes you to get through the program. So the guys who do that tend to go faster and go deeper, because they're energetically committed. That's what we've seen in the past couple of years since we started doing it. So we only did it because people started asking us. Really hadn't thought about it prior to that. So does that help, Ruth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Anything else, people? You've been a great team. You've been a great team here. We had good fun today. Nothing else? Okay, if you have any questions, you can always email me. You've got my email now from the registration. So Antonia, our training coordinator, will probably have the video to you in the next couple of days. We've just got to process it and set it up on YouTube. Okay, and yeah, we'll have any of the resources I talked about will be in the description. So the only other thing I'd say is that for you guys who are asking questions about your business in terms of clarity, we have another training called Marketing and Manifesting Your Business, which is basically a weekend training where we hold space. You can get really clear what your offering is. I'll post it in the description, and who your audience is, and how it's a 5th dimensional way of doing business. It's the secrets of how Mira and I created 2 global businesses. We give you an introduction to the structure of how to run a 5th dimensional business, which is completely different to corporate business. How to run a business with service and love and consciousness. I think it's on the 26th and 27th of April. So some of you that might be of interest to some of you as well. So all our secrets, pretty much giving them away really, but we really want to get you guys out there, because our aim is to get you out in the world raising consciousness. That's why we exist. Okay, so we're focusing on maximizing return on consciousness on Earth, and you guys are the key to that. That's why we love training you. Okay, we're not here to focusing on maximizing return on investment. Obviously, we've got to run a business, got to pay a team. The main focus is raising consciousness. That's what we do. Okay. All righty. Thank you. And hopefully we'll see you on the training. All right. Take care.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.